Merry Christmas to you, Trish.
Representative, do you think Andrew McCabe is about to retire, and do you think he needs to retire?
Yeah, I mean, all the indications are that he is, and yes, I think he should. There's been so many questions raised. Listen, I've worked with Andrew McCabe over the years in my position on the Intelligence Committee and Homeland Security Committee, but the issues that have come up in the last 16 months regarding the Hillary Clinton investigation, regarding the opening of the investigation against the Trump campaign, and the what appear to be conflicts of interest that Andrew McCabe has had, to me, it's better for everyone that he does step aside. And again, maybe there's more to it even than that, but at the very least, because of these apparent conflicts and contradictions, I think his time has come, yes.
I don't know how someone is able to lead the investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails when his own wife, who was running for state senate, actually received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Clinton supporters. How does that get cleared, Representative, through the Ethics Committee?
I don't even know if he gave it to the Ethics Committee. I don't know how much was disclosed. And it wasn't just he was getting from people close to Hillary Clinton. There's probably very few people in politics closer to the Clinton campaign than Terry McAuliffe. I mean, I've known Terry McAuliffe for years. He is a very, very close personal friend of the Clintons and a political ally. And the fact that he was steering 500, 700,000, whatever the number was, to Andrew McCabe's wife in a hotly contested race in Virginia, to me, that is such an apparent conflict on its face. I don't know how he stayed in it, how he was allowed to stay in it, and how that doesn't really marginalize him forever. And to be, again, the investigation of Hillary Clinton itself was so sensitive, was so vital, and to have Andrew McCabe having any role in that at all, to me, goes against all the ethical standards that we should be having in the FBI and the federal government. Let me just emphasize now, I think 99% of the people in the FBI, outstanding Americans, what we're talking about is what was going on at the top.
Yeah, look, I mean, and this is why people are so frustrated, really, with Washington, because there is this perception, Representative, that there's a lot of cronyism, there's a lot of sort of greasing of palms, and, regardless of what this was, the reality remains that his wife, the woman who is likely the closest person to him in the world, is getting a lot of money from Clinton friends and associates and people that want to see Clinton succeed. And so, that in and of itself, you would think, Representative, would be enough for him to say, okay, we get a Chinese wall in my family, and I either, number one, can't allow my wife to take that money, or number two, cannot be running this investigation.
Right, that investigation, and then right around that same time was the opening of the investigation against the Trump campaign, which he also had an involvement in. And again, we don't know all the specifics yet, but if that investigation was premised on that dossier and on Carter Page, if that was the basis to have an unprecedented investigation into a presidential campaign, then that, to me, raises the most serious constitutional and civil liberties issues, because that also would have involved then getting a FISA warrant, which is really the most intrusive. I support FISA, but that is the most intrusive type of investigation you can have, and there have to be such strict standards met for that. And if they were basing it on a dossier which was put together, in effect, or commissioned by the Clinton campaign and Carter Page, who had no real role in the campaign, and everything he did was public, to use that as the basis for this unprecedented investigation, that if Andrew McCabe in any way involved in that, raises, again, serious, serious issues that go beyond, really, that to me is more significant than the Clinton investigation.
Representative King, that dossier was out there, largely discredited. No member of the media, I mean, other than, late to the table, BuzzFeed, and you can question whether they are really a legitimate member of the media, because to me, no legitimate media organization would have printed that. But no real media organization went near that. And so what I look at is, how is it the journalists knew that that was discredited, but somehow our own FBI decided to take the thing as gospel? We don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can't go into everything that I know. I'm just saying, if that was used as the basis to begin an investigation, that is totally indefensible. Using a document put together or authorized by a opposing campaign, and the fact that, as far as I know, nothing in there, nothing significant has been verified. And some of the obvious things, like Michael Cohen, who was a lawyer for the Trump organization, supposedly was in Prague holding these secret meetings. He's never been in Prague in his life. It wouldn't have, if the FBI couldn't figure that out, then, what are they doing? So obviously there's no attempt made to even look into the basic allegations in that dossier, which would have, to me, made the whole thing, incredible. And the fact that the FBI, apparently, there's reports they wanted to continue to, they wanted to pay Michael Steele, who was the person behind it. And then you have all the interrelationships between the organization putting the dossier together, people in the Justice Department, all of that. If there's any collusion issue here, to me, it's the FBI, it's the Clinton campaign, it's the Russians for that matter, because it can be very likely that Russians were feeding Steele information to use against Donald Trump, and it was fake information.
Wow, maybe the Russians were
and that was used as the basis for a federal investigation.
And all this. Anyway, lots of questions still. Thank you so much, Representative King. Good to have you here. Merry Christmas.
Okay, great. And again, Merry Christmas.